Akash Prakash of Amanta Capital and Ramdeo Agarwal of Motilal Oswal Financial Services on our special series, The Gods of Stocks.
Whenever things are completely discarded and mispriced, that's where you make the returns. And reality was last year, commodities in general were all beaten up and completely neglected. And you've seen that play out not only in sectors but markets as well. So Brazil or Russia have performed extremely well. Their currencies are up, their markets are up, and naturally the stocks are up as well. Other than steel, also Hindalco performed very well. Cement has performed brilliantly. Oil stocks have come back, the PSU oil pack and all as well. So I think it's just a lesson that every fruit has its season. And like all of God's beautiful creatures, everyone has their place in the sun at some point.
Let me toss a similar question to Akash. Akash, far away in that perch, you would have noticed that, Indian stocks have performed reasonably well over the past 12 months and even the past 24 months. Valuations are now standing at 17 times, in some cases much more. What is the sense you're getting? Will 2073 be the Samvat year when you realize that stocks are overpriced? Or do you think, that growth will come and justify the numbers?
Well, I mean, we are still reasonably positive. I think that, you're going to catch a breath for some time here because obviously, as you said, valuations are not cheap and we need earnings to catch up. But hopefully, I think, given how low the base effect is in December and March of next year, we will see reasonable earnings growth over the next 6 to 9 months in India. And then I think that will give the market, hopefully, another leg or another wind of growth. But I think you're in a bit of a holding pattern here for some time till earnings catch up. I think there is very limited scope now for multiple expansion.
Ramdev, I went through what your funds have recently been doing. And let me just come to the banking space. You have some private sector, one public sector, some NBFCs. If banking and NBFC is a proxy of the economy, are you convinced that there is growth? Or you're buying these banks for individual reasons?
For last 12, 13 years, the private sector banking opportunity, because of value migration from public sector to private sector, it was imminent in 2000, it was imminent in 2010, and it is more so imminent today that public sector banks will become much smaller size of the overall pie in 2025 or 2030. So the migration is on right now. And that's why private sector banks are doing very well. And NBFCs are also proxy to private sector banking opportunity.
Speaking of NBFCs, to you, Manish, since you are outside the NBFC sector, if you please, do you think that sector is heading towards a bubble?
No, it's like he said, it's in banking as well. If you had gone back 20 years ago, there were so many new bank licenses given out. Very few of those players have survived and thrived. I think it's similar in NBFC that not only the public markets, the bond markets and private equity, everyone has realized that the opportunity in this whole BFSI space is so large that let's deploy capital and back people. Naturally, everyone won't make it. There is a lot of misallocation of capital going on over there, especially in housing finance currently. And like you mentioned, there are players raising like $2-3 billion of cheap debt financing over there. So it is concerning. Microfinance, for example, is going through a real bubble as well, or a boom, depending on how you look at it. So there will be a shakeout at some point, but the opportunity clearly is there.
Akash, what did you glean from the Axis numbers?
No, I think the takeaway from Axis, that Axis is frankly not that different from ICICI. I mean, I think there was a view in the market that Axis is a much better run, much better credit quality than ICICI. I think our view always has been that they're both well-run organizations. Both the CEOs, Shikha and Chanda, are very smart and capable CEOs.
All right, then the Nifty is struggling. We're struggling to hold on to that 8,500 and